Hello, hello, hello! Josh here again. Hope you're doing well today. In this video, I want to talk about the possibility of changing our attitudes and the one thing we can do to make sure that we can choose our attitudes. So the big question is, can we choose our attitudes? Maybe when you were a kid, your mom or dad told you, you better change that attitude. I didn't know what that meant. Did you know what that meant? Right? It's kind of like a complex thing. What does that mean? Change my attitude? I don't know. But do we have the power to change our attitudes? I think the answer is yes. Even though sometimes I don't feel like it. Sometimes I feel like I am powerless to change my attitude. Whatever's going on around me has just so much impact on me that the reality of choosing a different attitude despite what's going on seems impossible to me. Maybe you too. But the reality is that we always have a choice regarding our attitudes and the attitude we choose to live out of, right? Remember, attitude is that posture. I always have the power to choose the posture in which I'm sort of coming at a person or a situation. But why don't I feel like I have control? Why don't you feel like you have control? Well, usually this is due, there's many factors, but one important factor is that we have given up power to some sort of external force or some sort of external reality. That be a situation, maybe it's a person, right? I have given up power to that person to shape my inner reality. So maybe I'm with a friend who's feeling depressed. I was feeling positive and hopeful. I had a great positive attitude. But now I'm with them and their attitude is changing now my attitude. Or maybe it's gloomy weather out and rainy and cold, and I don't like the rain and the cold, and so it's affecting my attitude. Maybe now I am feeling gloomy and miserable, just maybe like the weather. Just a simple example, but essentially we have handed over power to something outside of us to tell us how we should feel and what sort of attitude and posture we should take towards whatever we're experiencing. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor, said that the one thing you can't take away from me is the way I choose to respond to what you do to me. The last of one's freedom is to choose one's attitude in any given circumstance. So the last of one's freedom is to choose one's attitude in any given circumstance. And he went through a horrific number of events as a Holocaust survivor. But this is what he came up with. That the one thing that the guards could never take from him was the freedom to choose his attitude no matter what was happening around him or happening to him. I find that incredibly inspiring. So yes, we do have the power to choose our attitudes, even though sometimes it does not feel like it. Sometimes it's a fight to detach from whatever external thing is impacting our internal reality. So what's the one thing that we can do to regain power to choose our attitude? And there's many, right? There's many things, but what's the one thing for this video is to identify the external realities that we're allowing to influence our inner reality, our inner attitude. So just identify that. With just simple awareness, you take the first step to regaining control. If you can just sit down and write a list of, yep, this is affecting my attitude, and this is affecting my attitude, and oh yes, that person said that thing and it's affecting my attitude, and oh, the way that person looked at me is affecting my attitude. Just go crazy, write your list. And just with getting that information out of you onto, say, a piece of paper, or just taking a moment to pause and think about it, you can now regain some power just by being conscious of what is impacting you from the external world. You now have taken back some power to say, now do I want that to have the influence that it's having over me? Hopefully this helps you because the goal here, right? The goal, my desire for you, for myself, for every human being is that we realize we do have the power to choose, right? And I know you just like me, have dreams in your heart of the life you would love to be living. And maybe you're living it. Awesome. Congratulations. I love that. It's so inspiring. But maybe there's some other sort of dream or something you want to achieve, something you want to create with your life, some person you want to be in this world, and you feel it deep in your heart. But you've allowed and given up power to external things to sort of tell you how your attitude should be. And so maybe just by bringing some awareness to what it is out there will help you take the first step towards making conscious choices to say, I can choose my attitude no matter what. And that's the first step. There's many other things and many other videos to come, and we'll talk about that more. But thank you so much for spending this time to watch this. I hope you find something helpful and come back for more.